just so I can avoid being accused of being a fear pornographer of some sort by galactic brain people who say don't enter into Google search bars key terms like floods, crop loss, 2019. Jesus, fucking moron. All right, there's a way that you come at people. I don't think this is this. If you disagree with me, could you give me more? Could you present to me more? He was just wrong for months. Then it became a national story. Even Tim Pool had to catch up to the D. God damn, fucking morons. Google Apple JV's dystopian COVID-19 tracker could be straight out of Orwell's 1984. Now, this is something about universal health care that I was waiting to see how it would flush out. Because every once in a while you'll hear some story about you could learn if you have diabetes by just, this chemical wafting off of you. Like Discover Channel would have stuff like this. Did you know that there's all these illnesses we could discover where you just took a photo of the eye? You would know if you were going to have a stroke in 6 months, something like that. All these things that it turns out, one, are this odd realm of what once was known about medicine. When doctors interviewed people, way back in the day, there was a really good reason for these interviews. So the doctor could actually look over a lot of information. Now, how this is done now, I'm not sure. But how you position your body. What are patterns that the doctor might see in behaviors that certain groups are likely to, that when you meet, say, white liberals, the likelihood that they're vegetarians or vegans. Well, there's a whole realm of various signs and symptoms that okay, then we have to go along these lines. Because the likelihood that you are giving yourself enough vitamins, minerals, and protein for your relative size and your population group, this would require a lot of knowledge. If you haven't done that requisite, if you haven't looked into that correctly, you are likely to not have a proper nutrient content in your diet, or a proper protein content in your diet, or overall lack of calories per day, things like that. There's a variety of them. Say one would be if somebody's complaining of certain things and it takes a while for a doctor to figure out, wait a second, so 3 meals a week at least you are having arugula, chard, or kale. Now, anybody who knows anything about folk medicine or knows anything about sort of dietary stuff knows that could become an issue. You could leave it in the comments why. That alone could become an issue. If all you have are tubers and roots, people think those were, people lived off of tubers and roots from the root cellar. That was a part of what they lived on. That was a part of it. No, we had to live on a whole lot of other stuff because there's specific things. If you don't balance your diet out, you're going to get very specific imbalances of the body that become that slowly open you up for various disease vectors, or just cause malfunctions of your organs. The flies of spring. I hate flies. So the Lodge doctor, you can look it up. Please just look it fucking up if you don't know. The Lodge doctor And then like doctors, like Chinese medicine doctors, my teacher, knowing of old lodge doctor stuff, he had a specific mentality about the interview process in Chinese medicine. And because he had been trained by the military and some other situations in interviewing, in like how to actually interview a person, to watch what their body does, to really listen to how the sound is coming out of their face, because there's a way you breathe and a way you position your head. And it's a whole mentality thing. That there's literally it's a whole, your brain will act differently if you force the body into a certain position. If you make yourself go into that position, you start to alter the way that your brain functions, and and your nervous system functions. So knowing stuff like that helps in this passive part of medicine. Well, the passive part of medicine has been growing. Swabbing, taking photos of the eyes, gases coming from the mouth, lots of different, looking at nails. There's something to this. Looking at your nails is very important. Both toes and hands. Things that could even be probably swabbed from the skin. I'm betting. I bet there's like half a dozen things that could be known now just from swabbing the skin. Well, Google has been developing something along these lines. There's people are developing this thing. You walk into what's like a phone booth, and it takes photos of you. There's various things that it will do, and it will have a whole makeup of where your kind of body chemistry is at. So universal healthcare, that's a lot of money. Everybody's probably sitting there going, well, I mean, how much would something like that, what would this look like? I haven't seen one of these yet. That's probably the issue. How do you get the government to pay for it? Universal health care. This bill, this just huge bill, and nobody can seem to do anything about this bill now. Now that we're not even enforcing it as law. Still no one. Notice that nobody is trying to get rid of it. Not really. Nobody's really just trying to say, okay, no, let's just get rid of it and start over again. Nobody's really trying to do that. And this idea of Medicare for all will give everybody the Veterans Administration. And the Veterans Administration it took literally like 30 years to get the Veterans Administration reformed. So people need to, and how was it reformed? By allowing people to see private doctors. I mean, once they were like, oh, you can just not see me. And being I will see fewer patients, I won't be required. So boom, I'm out of, it was once again just taking money away from the government. Just take the money, put it in a private industry, because they will do the job better. This is where this goes horribly wrong, of course, where it's this cartel economics of universal health care, where now the government's like, oh no, this is totally cool. This is totally constitutional. People must opt into the system, but it has the potential to monitor about a third of the world's population. In this spirit of collaboration, Google and Apple are announcing a joint effort to enable the use of Bluetooth technology to help governments and healthcare agencies reduce the spread of the virus, with user privacy and security central to the design. In the coming months, the two tech giants will add the technology directly into their operating systems, so this contact tracing software works without having to download an app. Apple's iOS and Google's Android have about 3 billion users between them. All of us and it would be good if they lived, for real, it'd be good if they lived. All of us at Apple and Google believe there has never been, and also actually let me make sure I point this out, to be fair. One of my investments is in a digital realty trust where all this information is being kept. the physical place. So, or the people who manage the server farms. Those are REITs. I figured that over a few, about a year or so ago, I figured that would be an inevitable. There'd be tremendous amounts of need for use of digital information. Even in collapse, those would become like banks. That information, they would be like Fort Knox, the information that they had in there. They're not doing so good. And like Digital Realty Trust, not doing so good. But they just had, say, an influx of cash from the government to help them. We're just helping keep people well. If you could just help us with little funds, funds that, how we're helping. We're doing the collab. See, you use the word collaborate, and like white liberal women, splash. Globalist liberals, splash. Collaboration, public-private partnership, splash. Oh, Don't worry, though. They have policy on privacy. Notably, while the technology will allow governments and health agencies to track contact, it won't notify users when they came into contact with or where that happened. And do not forget this. So don't worry. The box truck, the white cube, it is not going to show up at your house. Don't worry. Do not forget this opted-in invasion of your privacy by the duopolist controllers of practically every wireless device in the world is for your own good. We hope to harness the power of technology. Harness. Splash. Harness. Collab. Public-private partnership. Boing! Splash. We hope to harness the power of Schwang. We hope to help countries around Jared Kushner's countries around the world slow the spread of COVID-19 and accelerate the return of everyday life. All right, so that was Alan McLeod, MacLeod by Mint Press News here in Zero Hedge. So I just thought I would read that because I thought that was one of those moments where I was like, okay, now I just wanted to read this one just because it had come up. What's it? Worldwide coronavirus death toll passes 100K. Live updates from so it's the top story. I think they got pinned. Global new cases stabilize as deaths in U.S. UK continue to climb. White House readying plan to start reopening the economy by May 1st. Global coronavirus deaths have topped 100,000. Feud between Taiwan and WHO intensifies as Dr. Tedros accuses Taiwanese government of smear campaign. Javits Center UNSN comfort mostly empty of patients as hospitalization rate drops. England's death toll tops 8,000. Iran accelerates sale of government assets as pressure on regime intensifies. Well, Ollie. Malaysia extends lockdown as cases in Southeastern Asia. Yeah, Waterpenny. Government assets. Malaysia extends lockdown as cases in Southeastern Asia spike. New York sees negative ICU admissions for first time. Turkey death toll tops 1,000. Deaths in Spain continue to decline. UK deaths see another record jump. Italy reports drop in hospitalizations, ICU admissions as new cases. Deaths continue to decline. Chicago mayor breaks up underage drinking party while personally enforcing social distancing. Wait. No way. That weird bald head woman mayor, she's balding. She's balding like a man, dog. And she like walked up in a party, like she did like a house party. Who's up in my house? Oh my god, dude! Oh my god! Somebody's got to do it. Come on, find the meme or find the footage. It's out there. I forget what that. Who's up here in my house? I forget what that vocal thing was. That vocal sample from House Party. Oh my god, dude, that would be so fucking great, dude. Okay. Israel confirmed case total passes 10,000. LA launches task force to test deputies at home. Interesting. The number of confirmed COVID-19 linked deaths around the world has surpassed 100,000, according to Johns Hopkins University. The milestone is reached shortly after JHU reported the number of confirmed cured cases had topped 300,000, while a spike in confirmed deaths in the U.S. and UK have contributed significantly to the total in recent days. It looks like deaths reported in Italy, France, and Ecuador, which reported 25 new deaths, 2,196 new cases, bringing its total to 7,161. Friday afternoon put the total over the top. France reported 987 new deaths, bringing its total up to 13,197. Angelo Borelli, head of Italy's Civil Protection Service, had some more good news to share with Italians during Friday's press conference. The trend of new cases and deaths continued to decline, he said, though the government was still moving ahead with extending the nationwide lockdown until May 3rd. The total infections climbed 3,951 over the last... Whoa. What the fuck? Bang good. Whoa, those are some serious hats. These are like leather Kangol and leather old school baseball hats. Super weird. I don't know, it's some ad that's running on here. Up to 58% off. And like literally like Bang Good. BANGGOOD. I don't know. And, see, Zero-Hedge can advertise. They can figure out, oh, you're a male of about this age? Are you black? Do you want a leather hat? Okay. So, that's why I got 2,000 followers, man. That's why. All right. Well, so that's at Zero-Hedge. It's about that time. Even though it's about an hour early, it's about that time. So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.